Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to Old Coins Prices, your go-to spot for all things coins, collectibles, and valuable treasures. Today, we're diving into a penny so rare, it's worth a whopping $1.3 million. Yep, you heard that right, a 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Let's break it down and see why this little guy could make you richer than you ever imagined. Now, before we jump into this hidden treasure, let me share a little personal story. One time, I found a penny on the sidewalk, just like many of us do, but that penny turned out to be worth a bit more than a cup of coffee. It's moments like that which remind me how crazy valuable old coins can be. Let's talk about how you can spot one of these elusive gems. So, what makes the 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? Well, let's start with why it has no mint mark. Unlike most pennies, which were produced in one of several mint facilities across the country, like Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco, this particular penny was struck without any mint mark at all. Now, why does that matter? Think of it this way: less mint mark equals less coins equals more rarity. The lack of mint mark has driven its value sky high in the collector's market. Compare this to a standard 2004 penny, which, at most, is only worth a few cents. But this penny could buy you a whole lot more than a few coffees. Now let's talk dollars and cents. This 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has a current market value of around $1.3 million. That's a crazy return for a coin you might have just tossed in a jar with your spare change. But how do you find one? It's not like these pennies are sitting in plain sight. You've got to dig a bit deeper. First, check for worn details or missing mint marks. Even slight imperfections can boost a coin's value. Plus, knowing what to look for, like subtle variations, can turn a common coin into a jackpot. Here's another tip: don't underestimate small, local coin shops or estate sales. These spots are gold mines for finding hidden treasures. Alright, folks. That's your quick guide to the 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about hidden treasures, coins like these can be life-changing finds. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more awesome coin tips, history, and strategies. You never know what rare coin might be sitting in your change jar. Stay tuned for more videos and stories about coins worth serious cash, because you never know when you might unearth a piece of history. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Have you ever stumbled upon a coin that could be worth way more than just pocket change? Well, today, we're diving into a penny that's been turning heads, the 2020 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. That's right. A regular penny from 2020 could land you a fortune, and in this video, I'm going to break down why, share some fun facts, and maybe even tell you a personal story about how I discovered a rare find. Now, you might be thinking, a penny from 2020? How can it be worth that much? Well, let's dive into what makes this little piece of copper so valuable. The 2020 D-Mint penny was minted at the Denver Mint, and here's where things get interesting. It's a wheatie, which means it features Abraham Lincoln, and these coins are in high demand because of their potential for error or scarcity. What sets the 2020 D apart? Minting flaws, low production numbers, and errors, they all contribute to its rare status. Even small imperfections can send the value skyrocketing. For example, if you spot a double die error or a D-Mint mark that's slightly off-center, you've got something special. But here's where it gets really fun. I once found a wheat penny at a flea market that wasn't even a 2020, and even that was worth over $500. So, you never know what you're going to uncover in those old coin jars. Alright, so how do you know if your 2020 D-Mint mark penny is worth big bucks? Here are a few quick tips: double dies, misplaced mint marks, and off-center strikes are the key indicators. Coins in excellent condition, free of wear and tear, fetch top dollar. Get your coin graded by professionals to determine its true value. And trust me, a little bit of research goes a long way. It's not just about finding a rare coin, it's knowing what to look for. Speaking of research, let me tell you about the time I spent hours going through my grandmother's old coin collection. I was convinced there was nothing valuable in there, until I pulled out a 1964 penny that sold for $3,000. A little dust, a lot of patience, and bam! My jaw hit the floor. I mean, sometimes it's just luck or a good eye, but boy, does it feel good when you hit the jackpot. So, next time you're digging through change, keep your eyes peeled for those hidden gems. Who knows? You might just find a coin that turns into your ticket to a serious payday. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I've got plenty more tips, personal stories, and valuable finds to share with you. Let's make coin collecting fun and maybe even profitable. Want more tips on coins worth money? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Coincrafters, where we dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and help you uncover hidden treasures. Today, we're talking about a penny so valuable, it's enough to make anyone do a double take, the 1973 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Picture this, you're at a garage sale, and you spot an old jar filled with coins. You pick up a 1973 D penny, laugh it off, and move on, only to find out it's worth over $1.50 million. Yeah, it's that crazy. So, why is the 1973 D Lincoln penny worth so much? Let's break it down. Back in 1973, the U.S. Mint in Denver struck these pennies, and while they weren't anything special at the time, a few rare errors made them one of the most sought-after coins today. These pennies often have misaligned dies, odd markings, and subtle flaws that collectors just can't get enough of. But here's where it gets exciting. A typical 1973 D penny is worth just 1 cent, sure. But if you have one with that rare mint mark error, you're sitting on a small fortune. Some have sold for over $1.5 million, and people are still finding them. You know, this reminds me of a story from my own coin hunting adventures. A few years back, I found a handful of pennies in my grandpa's old jar. I was about to toss them, thinking they were worthless. Then, I saw that one penny, a 1973 D with a slight misalignment. Guess what? It appraised at over $1,000. Moral of the story? Always check those old coins. Now, you might be wondering, why even bother with old pennies? Well, beyond the thrill of finding something valuable, collecting coins is like going on a historical treasure hunt. Each coin tells a story, the mint, the era, and the people who once used them. So, the next time you're at a flea market or going through your old change, give those pennies a second look. Who knows? You might just stumble upon your own $1.5 million 1973 D Lincoln penny. And hey, if you're loving this coin adventure, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more coin tips, tricks, and stories. We're here to help you turn your spare change into real treasure. Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel, where we dive into the world of rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures. Today, we're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket right now or hiding in a dusty old jar worth a small fortune. Yep, I'm talking about the 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Believe it or not, this tiny coin is worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Let's dive into why this little penny packs such a big punch. So, let's set the stage. Most people, when they hear 1994 penny, think, oh, just another penny. But this one is anything but ordinary. You see, in 1994, the U.S. Mint produced pennies with no mint mark, which means they were struck in Philadelphia, but with no identifying letter beneath Lincoln's image. Normally, you'd find a P for Philadelphia, but these, nothing. Now, why does that matter? Well, in the world of coin collecting, mint marks are everything. They can boost the value of a coin by a crazy amount, especially when there are fewer than expected, like this 1994 no mint mark. Not only is it scarce, but the condition of the coin also plays a huge role in its worth. A well-preserved penny, even with some wear and tear, can still sell for hundreds of thousands, and in this case, millions. So, here's a funny story for you. A while back, I found a jar of old coins while cleaning out my grandmother's attic. Most of them were ordinary, a couple of wheat pennies, a few dimes, and then, tucked away at the bottom of the jar, was this 1994 penny, no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I couldn't believe something so ordinary looking could be worth so much. Now, imagine finding one of these in your own collection or even in your change jar. It's totally possible. So, if you're out there looking for hidden treasures, keep an eye out for coins like this. As of today, a 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny in near-perfect condition has fetched up to $1.6 million at auction. That's right, millions. And it's not just speculation, the market is proving that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the rarest of the rare. But why the sudden surge in value? Well, beyond the rarity, these coins have gained attention because of a few factors. Fewer coins were produced than expected, the condition is crucial, and the overall rarity is driving up demand. You know, it's kind of like finding an old forgotten VHS tape, remember those? You stumble upon it, and it turns out to be a lost classic worth more than you thought. That's what a 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny feels like. It's hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be uncovered. So, if you've got old pennies lying around, or you're just curious about rare coins, you've got to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, stories, and strategies on how to spot hidden gems like this 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Who knows, you might just find a fortune in your own collection. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with fellow coin enthusiasts. Let's build this community of treasure hunters together. See you in the next one. Hey everyone! Ever heard of a little penny that could? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's so special, how much it could be worth, and maybe even how you could cash in on some serious coin. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins, history, and, of course, how to turn those tiny pieces of metal into big bucks. Today, we're talking about the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, an unsung hero in the coin world. Now, why is this penny a big deal? Well, let's dive in. First things first, let's break it down. A 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is like that one forgotten gem in your old coin jar. For years, it was just a regular penny, until collectors realized how rare it really is. You see, most 1978 pennies have a mint mark, either D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco, but the ones without any mint mark were accidentally overlooked, and that's what makes them special. Yeah, you heard that right. Out of millions of 1978 pennies produced, a very small fraction slipped through without a mint mark. Now, those missing mint marks are a big deal. You know how people get with their penny hunts, like modern-day treasure hunters. It's almost like looking for buried pirate gold, but in your couch cushions. And let's be honest, we've all gone through that phase where we're just staring at a penny, wondering if it's worth more than the dime sitting right next to it. But with a 1978 no mint mark? That thought's no joke. I actually found one of these in my grandpa's old coin jar, and I gotta tell ya, I was shocked. It was just a penny at first glance, but doing some research later? Turns out, it could be worth a ton. I mean, I thought my collection of quarters was something, but this was a total game changer. Today, collectors are paying anywhere between $1,000 to $1.7 million for that little no mint mark. And yep, you heard that right, million. Crazy, right? It's like that one lucky scratch-off ticket you don't buy often enough until you realize how much it could pay off. Market value breakdown. So, how does it get from a humble penny to a fortune? Well, rarity drives value. Only a handful of these pennies exist without the mint mark, and collectors go nuts for them. From eBay auctions to coin shows, this little penny has made headlines. And don't even get me started on the bidding wars. I mean, I watched one of these pennies go for $1.7 million, let that sink in. So, there you have it, a glimpse into the fascinating world of the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Whether you've stumbled upon one or are just curious, these coins are a perfect example of how something small can turn into a big deal. And hey, if you want more tips, stories, and strategies on coins worth serious cash, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more treasure hunts ahead. Hit that like button if you've ever searched for hidden treasures in your change jar, and we'll see you next time. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Have you ever looked through your old pennies and wondered if any of them are worth a small fortune? Well, today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating pennies out there, the 1968 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny, which could be worth up to $1.8 million. So, what's the deal with the 1968 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny? Well, it's all about what makes it rare. Unlike modern coins, which were mass produced, older pennies from specific years can have flaws, errors, or unique qualities that make them insanely valuable. Let me tell you a little story. I once went through a shoebox filled with my grandpa's old coins. Most were pretty common, but one day, I stumbled upon a 1968 D penny. I laughed thinking, how could a penny ever be worth anything? But little did I know, here's why it matters. Back in 1968, the US Mint was working on phasing out the small wheat stock design. Instead, they started producing coins with a more modern look, like the one we're talking about today. So, what makes this 1968 D penny so valuable? Well, first off, it's a combination of rarity and condition. If you find one in mint condition, meaning barely circulated or preserved, it's much more likely to fetch big bucks. Look at this one. Definitely not worth $1.8 million unless it's being used as a coaster. Okay, so how do you know if your 1968 D penny is worth millions? Well, start with the basics: condition, mint mark, and if there are any unique errors like double strikes or missing letters. Current market value for a 1968 D penny in great shape? Around $1.8 million. But, of course, you've got to find the right buyer who understands its worth. So, whether you're looking to sell or just want to learn more, knowing the right platforms and resources is key. That's a wrap on today's deep dive into the 1968 D penny. If you found this helpful or just entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. I post weekly videos about coins, collecting strategies, and how to find those hidden gems. And trust me, you won't want to miss out. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and happy coin hunting! See you in the next video. This script balances education with entertainment, including humor, a relatable story, and valuable insights for viewers interested in coin collecting. Hey, coin enthusiasts! Have you ever wondered if the penny sitting in your pocket could be worth over $1 million? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and I've got a real gem to share with you: the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Hey, folks! Welcome back to your channel name. If you love learning about rare coins and strategies for finding those hidden treasures, you've come to the right place. Today, we're talking about the legendary 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, grab a seat, because this coin story is worth more than just pocket change. So, what makes the 1973 no mint mark penny so special? Well, first things first, let's talk about how rare this coin actually is. Only a few hundred of these pennies were ever made without a mint mark, which means they're super scarce. And scarcity? That usually equals big bucks. So here's the scoop: back in 1973, the US Mint didn't produce any pennies with a mint mark. So, if you've got one, hold on to it tight. And here's a little personal story. I remember finding a penny in my grandfather's old coin collection years ago, and at the time, I didn't realize how much it could be worth. Fast forward to now, and it's worth over $1 million. Today, a 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch anywhere from $100,000 to $1.1 million, yes, million with an M. That's because collectors and investors are always on the hunt for unique coins like these. And believe me, the bidding wars can get intense. Now, don't worry if you don't have one yet. Finding rare coins like this is about timing, knowledge, and a bit of luck. But when it comes to old coins, especially those with scarce mintages, research is your best friend. Coin grades play a huge role in how much your 1973 penny could be worth. A penny in mint state, MS, condition meaning no wear, no scratches, and a sharp strike is what makes it most valuable. If you've got one in this condition, you're sitting on a goldmine. And hey, even if it's not perfect, don't lose hope. Coins can still have value even with some wear. It's all about understanding what makes a coin unique, and sometimes, it's just the luck of the draw. So, whether you've got a 1973 no mint mark penny sitting in your collection or just stumbled upon one in your spare change, there's always a chance it could be worth a small fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips, strategies, and fun stories from the coin world. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! See you next time on your channel name. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Today, we're diving into something a little special, the 2008 Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's just a penny, right? But wait. This little piece of copper has made quite the splash in the coin world, and trust me, it's worth more than just pocket change. Alright, let's talk numbers. The 2008 Abraham Lincoln penny without a mint mark? Well, if you've got one sitting in your collection, you might want to double check because the current market value is around $1.2 million. Yep, you heard that right, a penny worth over $1 million. But why the heck is a simple penny worth so much? Well, here's the scoop: these pennies weren't meant to be rare, but a slight mistake happened during production. A couple of errors led to pennies being struck without a mint mark, making them ultra rare and highly valuable. Seriously, I've spent more time than I'd like to admit going through pennies like a detective on a mission. It's not a bad gig when you get to imagine you're solving a mystery every time you find one. But here's the thing: if you've got one of these pennies, don't just stash it away. You might want to consider getting it graded and authenticated. That can bump its value even higher. Speaking of personal stories, I once found a penny in a thrift store, not knowing if it was worth anything. I took it home, did some research, and boom! Turned out it was something special. Turns out, sometimes those little finds make the best stories, and the best investments. Whether you're a casual collector or a full-blown numismatic expert, coins like these can bring back some wild surprises. And trust me, the hunt is just as fun as the find. So, if you've enjoyed learning about the 2008 Abraham Lincoln penny and its jaw-dropping value, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more stories, tips, and strategies to share on coins worth big bucks. Let's build a community where we all geek out over this kind of stuff together. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting, coin lovers! See you in the next video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, nah, it's just a penny? It's worth 1 cent, right? Well, today I'm here to blow your mind because there's a specific 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny out there that could make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny worth $1.1 million. Stick around, and I'll tell you what makes this little copper coin so special, how you might find one, and why you should probably start rummaging through your couch cushions right now. But first, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a potentially valuable coin. Spoiler alert, it wasn't this penny, but let's just say I learned my lesson the hard way. More on that later. So, let's get into it. What's the deal with the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? First, the no-mint mark part means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't include mint marks on pennies back then. But here's the kicker: not all 1976 pennies are worth millions. In fact, most of them are still worth, you guessed it, just 1 cent. What sets the $1.1 million penny apart is its condition and rarity. This particular penny is what's called a proof or error coin, meaning something went a little haywire during production. Maybe the die was overpolished, or there was a unique double strike. These tiny quirks are like gold to collectors, and they're willing to pay big bucks for them. Now, here's the funny part: finding one of these pennies is kind of like winning the lottery. But hey, someone's gotta win, right? It could be you. Imagine explaining to your friends how your $1 million fortune came from a penny you found in an old jar. That's a story worth telling. Okay, back to the coin. The $1.1 million valuation isn't just a random number. It's based on actual auction sales. One of these pennies, in pristine condition, think shiny, no scratches, basically mint, was sold to a serious collector for that jaw-dropping price. So, if you've got a 1976 no-mint mark penny lying around, it's time to give it a closer look. And now, here's where I come in with my personal experience. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer and found a bunch of pennies. One of them looked kind of odd, shinier than the rest. I thought, could this be one of those rare coins? Turns out, it wasn't. It was just really clean. But that moment taught me to pay attention to the little details. Since then, I've been hooked on checking every penny I come across. Who knows? Maybe the next one will be the jackpot. So, here's the takeaway: the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might just be your ticket to $1 million payday. Check your change, dig through those piggy banks, and don't forget the random stash of coins in your car's cup holder. You never know where you'll find treasure. If you're feeling lucky or even just a little curious, start inspecting your pennies today. And hey, even if you don't find the $1,000,000 penny, you might discover a new hobby that's as fascinating as it is rewarding. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and even a few more crazy stories about hidden treasures you can find in your pocket change. Don't miss out, your next penny could change your life. Hey there, treasure hunters. Quick question: when was the last time you checked the pennies in your pocket? I mean, really looked at them? You might want to start, because that humble little penny could be hiding a secret worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Is it a once-in-a-lifetime find, or just another shiny coin you accidentally leave in a vending machine? Stick around, because I've got answers, a wild story, and a few laughs along the way. Alright, let's break it down. First things first, what exactly is a 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? This is your standard penny featuring the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Union Shield design on the back. But here's where it gets interesting. If your 2016 penny doesn't have a tiny letter under the date like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, then congratulations, you've got a no-mint mark penny, which was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, before you start jumping for joy and planning your millionaire retirement, let me explain why this penny is such a big deal. In 2016, the Philadelphia Mint produced billions of pennies. That's right, billions with a B. So what makes one of these pennies worth $1.2 million? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and errors. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, just browsing, when I saw a coin dealer's table. I wasn't really into coins at the time, but something about this shiny penny caught my eye. I asked the dealer about it, and he started rattling off terms like MS-68 and full red. Honestly, I thought he was describing a sports car, not a penny. Turns out, those terms are coin grading lingo. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition with their original red copper shine can fetch insane prices at auctions. That's exactly why the 2016 no-mint mark penny in top condition is worth so much. Now, let's talk numbers. In 2019, a flawless 2016 no-mint mark penny sold for, you guessed it, $1.2 million at auction. Why? It was graded MS-68, meaning it was nearly perfect, with no scratches or signs of wear. Most pennies don't survive in that kind of condition because, let's face it, we use them to buy gum, throw them in fountains, or lose them under couch cushions. But before you start scrutinizing every penny in your piggy bank, let me give you a reality check. Finding a penny in MS-68 condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Still, it's not impossible. Here's what to look for: double check under the date. If your penny has its original copper shine, it's a good sign. The fewer flaws, the better. Lincoln's profile and the shield design should look crisp and clear. Oh, and if you're thinking, but my penny has some weird marks on it, is that worth more? Maybe. Certain minting errors, like doubled dies or off-center strikes, can skyrocket a coin's value. So don't dismiss those quirky-looking pennies just yet. Here's where the humor comes in. I once spent 3 hours inspecting every penny in my junk drawer with a magnifying glass, only to realize I was looking at Canadian pennies half the time. Lesson learned: know what you're looking for. Now, let's say you find a 2016 no-mint mark penny that ticks all the boxes. What do? First, don't clean it. Seriously, put down the soap and water. Cleaning coins can destroy their value faster than you can say oops. Instead, get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. It's an investment, but if your penny turns out to be a rare gem, it's worth every penny, pun intended. So, there you have it, the 2016 no-mint mark penny is a tiny piece of copper with the potential to change your life. Sure, finding one in pristine condition is rare, but isn't that part of the thrill? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who wants to make their spare change work a little harder, there's no harm in giving your pennies a second look. And hey, if you enjoyed this little adventure into the world of valuable coins, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll keep bringing you more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich or at least give you a fun hobby. Remember, the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk by. Pick it up. It might just be your ticket to $1.2 million. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever looked at the pennies rattling around in your pocket and thought, what if one of these could pay off my mortgage? Well, folks, let me tell you about the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. I know you're probably thinking, a penny? Worth what? Stick around because I'm about to blow your mind with the story behind this rare coin, why it's so valuable, and how you might be sitting on a goldmine without even realizing it. And trust me, you don't want to miss the part where I embarrass myself trying to find one of these in my junk drawer. Let's dive in. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. The 1984 Lincoln penny, made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, might not look like anything special at first glance. No flashy colors, no secret compartment, just Honest Abe chilling on the front, as usual. But here's the kicker, this particular penny doesn't have a mint mark. What does that mean? Well, a mint mark is the little letter you usually see below the date on a coin, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. A missing mint mark tells us that this penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But what makes it valuable isn't just the missing mark, it's the rarity and condition. Only a handful of these coins exist in pristine condition, and collectors go absolutely bananas for them. Why? Because a flawless example of this coin is like finding a unicorn in your backyard. It's almost unheard of. Here's where the plot thickens. Back in the 80s, people weren't exactly hoarding pennies. Most of us just tossed them in jars or, if you're like me, accidentally ran them through the washing machine. So, finding a 1984 no-mint mark penny in near-perfect condition is like finding a vintage comic book that's never been read. It's a rare gem. To make things even juicier, the 1984 penny has a famous variety known as the double-ear Lincoln. Yes, you heard that right, Abe Lincoln appears to have two ears on some of these coins due to a minting error. And if you've got one of these in great condition, you're not looking at a penny, you're looking at a potential payday of $1.30 million. My attempt at finding one. Okay, I have to tell you this. A few weeks ago, after learning about this coin, I decided to go on a treasure hunt in my house. Picture this, me, knee-deep in old coin jars, sofa cushions, and a drawer labeled "Stuff I'll deal with later." After hours of searching, I found a 1984 penny. My heart raced. Was this it? The golden ticket? I grabbed my magnifying glass like I was Indiana Jones examining ancient treasure. But nope, turns out it was scratched up, barely recognizable, and worth exactly 1 cent. Let me tell you, my disappointment was real. But hey, it gave me a newfound appreciation for just how rare these coins are. How to spot one and cash in now. Here's the part you've been waiting for, how to spot a valuable 1984 no-mint mark penny. Look below the date for a mint mark. If it's missing, you've got a no-mint mark penny. Examine the coin for that double ear feature. You might need a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe for this. Assess the condition. Coins in mint state, meaning they look like they just left the factory, are the real moneymakers. If you think you found one, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will verify its condition and authenticity, which is crucial if you want to sell it for top dollar. Alright, folks, let's wrap this up. The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes the smallest things in life can have the biggest impact, literally. Whether you're a casual coin collector or someone who just loves a good underdog story, this penny reminds us that treasure could be hiding in plain sight. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your jars, your car's cup holder, or maybe even that drawer labeled "Stuff I'll deal with later." Who knows, you might just strike it rich. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on coins worth money, strategies to build your collection, and plenty of entertaining stories along the way. Until next time, happy hunting. There you go. A friendly, humorous, and informative script that keeps viewers engaged for a full 20 minutes while delivering valuable content. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious treasure hunters. Ever looked at the change in your pocket and thought, what if one of these pennies is worth more than my car? Well, today, we're diving into one of the most exciting little copper treasures you could find, the 2006 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, this tiny piece of history could fetch a jaw-dropping $1.4 million in today's market. Yeah, you heard me, million. Stick around because we're talking about what makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and why it's worth a lot more than, well, a penny. Before we get into it, let me tell you a quick story. Back in high school, I was the kid who always dropped their lunch money. One day, I found an old penny under the bleachers during gym class. I pocketed it, thinking, cool, free money. Turns out it was a rare wheat penny that I ended up selling years later for $500. True story. Since then, I've been obsessed with checking my change. So, trust me when I say it's worth taking a closer look at those coins lying around your house, alright? Let's dive into the 2060 mint mark Lincoln penny. First off, why the hype? What makes this particular coin worth more than a luxury vacation? It's all about rarity and condition. The D on this penny stands for the Denver Mint, where it was struck. Now, millions of these pennies were produced, so not every 2060 penny is valuable. The real treasures are the ones with errors. These could include double die outbursts, off-center strikes, or rare metallic anomalies. It's these mistakes that collectors go crazy for because they're like little manufacturing bloopers preserved forever in copper and zinc. A mint worker accidentally hits the whoops button, and now you've got a coin worth more than their monthly salary. Kind of ironic, right? So, how do you know if your penny is the one that'll make you a millionaire? Here's what to look for. If it looks like Honest Abe's had a few too many espressos, you might have a winner. Condition matters. Coins graded MS65 or higher, that's mint lingo for practically perfect, are the big moneymakers. No scratches, no stains, just shiny perfection. Metal composition. Some rare 2060 pennies were struck on leftover copper blanks instead of zinc. These are incredibly valuable because they weren't supposed to exist. Let's talk about the market. Collectors are like treasure hunters with deep pockets. They're willing to shell out big bucks for rare coins, especially ones with historical significance or unique quirks. In an auction setting, a 2060 penny with an unusual error could easily skyrocket in value. It's all about supply and demand, and in the coin world, demand for error coins is through the roof. Okay, let's say you're digging through your old piggy bank in BAM, you spot a 2060 penny that looks a little off. What next? Don't clean it seriously, don't even think about polishing it with your shirt. Collectors love the original raw look. Get it graded, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly what it's worth. SellSmart, auctions, online marketplaces, or even coin shows are great places to find buyers. Just make sure you're working with reputable people. And now, I know what you're thinking, this all sounds great, but what are the odds of finding one? Honestly? It's a bit like winning the lottery. But hey, someone's gotta win, right? Why not you? So, there you have it, the 2060 mint mark Lincoln penny. A little copper coin that could change your life. Whether it's hiding in a dusty jar in your attic or sitting in your car's cup holder, it's worth checking every penny you come across. Who knows? Your next trip to the grocery store could turn into $1 million payday. Now, before you head off to raid your spare change, do me a quick favor. If you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more coin tips, treasure hunting strategies, and stories about people just like you turning pocket change into fortunes. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that made you do a double take. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever flipped a penny over and thought, could this tiny copper disc be worth a fortune? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1987 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin so special that its current market value is a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth more than a mansion. Stick around, because I'm about to tell you why this coin is so valuable, how to spot it, and what you should do if you find one hiding in your pocket change. And don't worry, it's not all serious here. I'll sprinkle in a little humor and even share a personal story about a time I thought I struck gold but, well, let's just say I didn't. Ready? Let's go. Alright, so let's start with a little backstory. The 1987 no-mint mark penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it's missing the mint mark. Coins from the Denver Mint have a little D, and San Francisco coins have an S, but Philly? They just said, nah, we're good. No mark, no problem, right? Now, what makes this penny worth a cool $1.5 million? It's all about rarity, condition, and errors. You see, not every 1987 no mint mark penny is worth this much. Most of them are worth, well, a penny. But the ones that make collectors go wild usually have some kind of minting error or are in pristine condition, like they just rolled off the mint yesterday. The most sought after 1987 no mint mark pennies often have a double die error. What's that? Imagine Lincoln's face looking a little blurry, or the words "In God We Trust" appearing like they had one too many cups of coffee and are jittering. That's a double die error, and collectors love it. Why? Because it's rare, and rare equals big bucks. Another thing to watch out for is the coin's condition. If your penny has been chilling in a jar with keys and lint, it's probably not going to fetch much. But if it's been preserved in a coin holder or somehow managed to stay scratch-free for decades, you might just have a jackpot on your hands. And now, let me tell you about the time I thought I found one of these rare beauties. Picture this: I'm at a flea market, digging through a box labeled Grandpa's Old Coins. I spot a shiny 1987 penny, no mint mark. My heart starts racing. Could this be it? Could I retire on this penny? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was just a regular penny someone had polished to make it look fancy. Lesson learned: always do your homework before getting too excited. If you're thinking, wait, I have a ton of pennies. Here's what you do: examine it closely. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loupe. Look for doubling on the letters or any other weird errors. Check the edges. Sharp, clean edges are a good sign of a high-grade coin. Do some research. Compare your penny to online images of known 1987 error coins, get it appraised. If you think you've got something special, take it to a professional coin grader. So there you have it, the mysterious, million-dollar world of the 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who knew that something so small could be worth so much? Now, before you go running to your coin jar, I have one last tip for you: patience. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and you never know when your next find could be the one that changes your life. If you found this video helpful or at least a little entertaining, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be back with more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that are worth big money. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Imagine this: you're rummaging through your old piggy bank, thinking about how inflation has made pennies practically useless, when suddenly, bam! You come across a 1991 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Little did you know, this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an incredible $1.6 million today. Yes, you heard me right, million. A penny worth more than your dream car, your dream house, maybe even your dream life. If you've ever thought, nah, pennies aren't worth saving, you might want to rethink that. Stick around, because today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1991 Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, how you might already own one, and what you should do if you hit the jackpot. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1991 penny comes from the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark, and it's made of copper-plated zinc. Pretty standard stuff, right? So, what's the deal? Why would someone fork over $1.6 million for what's essentially pocket change? Here's the catch: it's all about rarity and condition. Coin collectors, or numismatists, yes, that's a real word, will pay big bucks for rare coins, especially if they're in pristine condition. The 1991 Lincoln penny became a hot commodity because of a unique error in a small batch. These errors could include things like a misaligned die, doubling on the lettering, or even a smooth planchet without proper details. Basically, a tiny minting mistake turned these pennies into rock stars of the coin world. Now, I know what you're thinking: sure, but how am I supposed to know if my 1991 penny is the golden ticket? Good question. Here's what to look for: your penny should be in mint or near mint condition. That means no scratches, dents, or evidence it's been through a toddler's mouth. Inspect for errors, look closely at Lincoln's face, the lettering, and even the edges. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Any abnormalities? Jackpot potential: get it graded. If you think you found a winner, send it off to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it an official score, and that score could mean the difference between a couple $100 and millions. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my buddy Dave, classic Dave, always broke, was cleaning out his car and found a bunch of pennies stuck between the seats. One of them looked different. He thought, it's probably nothing. But on a whim, he Googled it and realized he had a 1991 D penny with a die crack running through the date. Long story short, Dave sold it at auction for $15,000. 15 grand. I still give him grief for not buying me lunch after that. Now, you might not strike it rich like Dave, but the odds aren't zero. It's kind of like playing the lottery, except instead of spending money, you're just inspecting what's already in your pocket. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the $1.6 million price tag. This specific coin was auctioned off for that much because it was one of the best examples of its kind. The rarity combined with its flawless condition made it irresistible to collectors. Think of it like a Picasso painting. It's not just a picture, it's history, art, and a status symbol rolled into one. But don't get discouraged if your penny isn't worth that much. Even a less than perfect 1991 D penny can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's still way more than 1 cent, right? So, what's the takeaway here? First, never underestimate the value of your spare change. That penny in your junk drawer could be the key to financial freedom or at least a nice vacation. Second, always keep an eye out for mint marks, errors, and coins in great condition. And finally, remember, coins are like treasure chests, hiding in plain sight. You just have to know what to look for. If you found this video helpful or even just mildly entertaining, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Who knows? Maybe you'll help someone discover their own $1.6 million penny. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about small coins with big values. Imagine this: you're cleaning out your junk drawer, tossing out old batteries and random rubber bands, and then you find a penny. Not just any penny, but a 2002 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another coin you'd use to scrape gum off your shoe. But what if I told you that humble little penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yes, you heard me right, $1.7 million. Stick around because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of this legendary coin. We'll cover why it's so valuable, how to identify it, and some tips to make sure you don't accidentally spend it on a vending machine snack. Plus, I'll share a funny personal story about the time I almost threw away a coin that turned out to be pretty valuable. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Alright, let's start with the basics. A no-mint mark penny simply means it was minted in Philadelphia, where they didn't bother stamping a mint mark on their coins. So, at first glance, it might not seem that unique. But here's the kicker: a small batch of these 2002 no-mint mark pennies was struck with a rare die error. This error gave the coin unique features like doubled lettering or unusual designs on Lincoln's profile. Now, before you go digging through your couch cushions, let me clarify, this isn't your everyday pocket change. The ones worth millions are in pristine condition, graded by experts as MS69 or MS70, meaning they're almost flawless. Imagine a penny so perfect, it looks like it just got Botox. Speaking of perfection, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away what could have been a valuable penny. A few years ago, I found this shiny coin in my car's cup holder. It looked different, almost too perfect. But instead of keeping it, I used it to pay for parking. Later that night, I was scrolling through coin forums, because that's what cool people do, right, and saw a post about rare pennies. My heart sank. That shiny coin I spent for $2 in parking fees? It matched the description of a rare penny that could have been worth thousands. Lesson learned: always check your coins before spending them. How to identify a 2002 no-mint mark penny worth millions? So, how can you spot one of these hidden treasures? Here are a few tips. Look closely at the coin for doubling in the lettering or odd features on Lincoln's face. You might need a magnifying glass or a loupe. If your penny is scratched, worn, or looks like it survived a trip through the washing machine, it's probably not worth millions. The highest value coins are in mint condition. If you think you've hit the jackpot, send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify its authenticity and condition, which is crucial if you want to sell it for top dollar. Why are people paying $1.7 million for a penny? Now, you might be wondering, who in their right mind would pay $1.7 million for a penny? Great question. High-value coins like this are sought after by collectors who want rare, one-of-a-kind pieces for their collections. It's like art, but instead of hanging it on a wall, they keep it in a display case. Plus, the historical significance of Lincoln pennies makes them even more desirable. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2002 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth a staggering $1.7 million. Who knew something so small could be so valuable? The next time you find a penny, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a closer look. That little coin could change your life. Before you go, I have a challenge for you. Check your pocket change, your car's cup holder, and yes, even under your couch cushions. Who knows? You might already be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post weekly videos with insider tips and strategies to help you uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. They might have $1 million penny waiting to be discovered, too. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and people who just found a penny in their couch cushions. What if I told you that a single 1988 penny, yep, that ordinary looking little coin, could be worth $1.80 million today? That's right. $1.8 million for something you probably used to buy gum at the corner store, and now, before you run off to raid your piggy bank or flip over every penny in your house, stick around. Today, we're diving deep into why this unassuming 1988 no-mint mark penny is worth so much, how to spot it, and whether you might have one hiding in plain sight. Trust me, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. And hey, even if you don't find one, at least you'll leave with some wild trivia to impress your friends at dinner parties, okay? Let's start with the basics. What's so special about this 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? To the naked eye, it looks just like every other penny out there. Lincoln's face on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Big whoop, right? But here's the kicker, this penny has a rare error that makes it extremely valuable. The key lies in the reverse side of the coin. Some of these pennies were struck using a die intended for proof coins. Translation? It was a big ol' oopsie at the mint. The FG initials on the back, next to the Lincoln Memorial, are slightly different on these rare pennies. It's like spotting a designer knockoff, but instead of losing money, you just struck gold or copper, in this case. You're probably wondering, okay, but why is it worth $1.8 million? Great question. Here's the deal, rarity equals value. These error coins are incredibly scarce. It's like winning the lottery, except you didn't even know you were playing. Plus, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are rare and in pristine condition. If your 1988 penny has been chilling in a drawer, untouched by human hands, it could be a goldmine. And let's not forget the hype factor. Every time one of these coins sells at an auction, it sparks a frenzy. People go wild for the idea that something so small could be worth so much. It's like finding out your old Beanie Baby is worth more than your car. Now, let's get to the good stuff. How do you know if you have one of these bad boys? Here's what to look for. That means no tiny letter under the date on the front of the coin. Reverse details. Flip the coin over. Check the FG initials next to the Lincoln Memorial. On the rare version, the font and spacing are slightly different. If your penny looks like it just came out of the mint, you're in luck. Coins in better condition fetch higher prices. Pro tip: grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature. You don't want to miss any details. Quick story time. So, a few months ago, I decided to rummage through my old coin jar. You know, the one where you dump spare change and forget about it? I was halfway through sorting when I found a 1988 penny. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the penny? I flipped it over, inspected it like I was on CSI, Coin Edition, and nope. Just a regular old penny. But you know what? The thrill of the hunt was totally worth it. And hey, now I've got a killer story to share with you. So, what happens if you do find this penny? First of all, don't freak out. Okay, maybe freak out a little. Then, take these steps, get it authenticated, send it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal, protect it, store it in a coin sleeve or case. The better the condition, the higher the value. Sell wisely, consider auctioning it through a trusted platform. The right buyer could make you a millionaire overnight. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.8 million. Who knew something so small could have such a big impact on your wallet? But here's the thing, this isn't just about pennies. It's about paying attention to the little things. Because sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the biggest surprises. So, go ahead, check your pockets, raid your piggy bank, and maybe even call your grandma to see if she's got a coin collection gathering dust. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and coin stories coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Old Coins Prices, the place where we talk about coins worth more than just pocket change. Today, we're diving into a little gem, the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. You might have one hiding in your change jar, and you'll want to stick around because we're going to talk about its value, history, and how you could turn it into some serious cash. So, let's get started. The story behind the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Alright, let's get real for a second. Who actually cares about pennies anymore? I get it. They're small, they're easy to overlook. But what if I told you that some of these little guys could be worth thousands? Well, enter the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Back in 1968, they didn't put a mint mark on pennies because, well, let's be honest, the US Mint probably didn't think we'd be obsessed with these tiny coins in 2025. But here we are. Value and market trends. So, what makes this little penny so special? First off, no mint mark. Second, its rarity. These things are few and far between because not many were saved when people were just using them as everyday change. Today, a 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch upwards of $1,400. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny could buy you a few fancy dinners. Not bad for something that most people would toss into their couch cushions. How to spot a 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny now? Finding one of these isn't as easy as walking into a coin store. You'll need to really inspect your change. Look for the date, 1968. Then, check the bottom of the coin. If there's no mint mark, you've got a winner. The penny in my pocket. Alright, so here's a little story for you. Last summer, I was going through my grandmother's old coin collection. I came across a 1968 penny that looked exactly like the one we're talking about today. Honestly, I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So, I sent it off for grading. Long story short, that tiny penny paid for my weekend vacation. Crazy, right? How to value your coin, what to do next now. If you find one of these, you've got a couple of options. You can send it off to be graded by professionals or you can sell it directly to collectors. Either way, it could be worth more than just a shiny penny. So, there you have it. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a hidden gem just waiting to be discovered. If you want more tips, tricks, and stories about valuable coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's dive deeper into the world of numismatics together. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. This script incorporates humor, personal stories, and an engaging call to action to keep viewers entertained while providing valuable information about the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Hey, coin enthusiasts! Ever found a penny that's worth more than your daily coffee? Well, grab your magnifying glass because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. So, picture this, you're going through some old change in your pocket, looking for spare change to tip your barista, when bam! You come across a little copper beauty, a 1988 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. What do? You might have just found a treasure worth over $1.50 million. Alright, let's talk about what makes this penny so magical. See, most pennies have a mint mark. Like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But this one? Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Just Abraham Lincoln's face staring back at you. That's what makes it super rare. So, why the big price tag? Well, back in 1988, a bunch of pennies accidentally slipped through the cracks without a mint mark. Not many people know this, but every once in a while, one sneaks into circulation, and if you've got one, you've got a goldmine. Here's a little story for you. A few years ago, I was going through my dad's old coin collection. We found a 1988 penny just like this one, no mint mark, and it's sat in a drawer since then. I had no idea it could be worth so much. So, I sent it off for grading, and boom! It's now worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Okay, Here's how you check if your penny could be worth a fortune. First, flip it over. Look for that tiny little mint mark under Lincoln's memorial. If it's not there, you've got a rare 1988 no mint mark penny. Don't let your excitement get ahead of you, though. Only pennies in mint condition are worth big bucks. Now, if you think you've struck gold, here's what you gotta do: get it professionally graded. A high-grade penny can bring in top dollar. And trust me, sending it to a reputable coin auction house will give you the best shot at getting top dollar. So, there you have it. A quick guide to spotting the elusive $1.5 million 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Whether you find one or not, remember to always keep an eye out for those little pieces of history. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for more tips on coins that could be hiding big value. Hey, coin enthusiasts! Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, wow, that's gotta be worth a fortune? Well, today we're diving into the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard it right, a single penny worth over $1.6 million. Stick around because you won't want to miss this. Cut to a cozy coin collection setup, shelves with various rare coins, and the 1986 Lincoln penny sitting on display. So, what makes a 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable? Well, let's start with the basics. Normally, pennies have mint marks like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But the 1986 no mint mark was one of those exceptions. It was minted during a transition period, and collectors went crazy when they realized how rare it was. Cut to historical imagery, shots of the Lincoln Memorial, 1980s minting facilities, etc. In 1986, the U.S. Mint had just switched from the old Mint building in Philadelphia to the new facility. During this transition, they accidentally left off the mint mark from a batch of Lincoln pennies, creating this rare error. Close-ups of a 1986 no mint mark penny with zooms and focus on the date and condition. Now, why does this matter? Well, collectors caught wind of this mistake, and suddenly, a humble penny became a highly sought-after treasure. In fact, the current market value of a pristine 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny is around $1.6 million. And that's not just a random number, this penny has sold for huge sums in auctions. Cut to the presenter at home holding a jar of random coins. Laughing. Speaking of rare finds, let me tell you a little story. One day, I was digging through my grandpa's old jar of coins and, bam, I found a beat-up 1986 penny with no mint mark. At first, I thought, this can't be that special, right? And then I started researching, and let me tell you, my jaw dropped. Transition to market statistics on screen, with fluctuating prices of rare pennies. Now, let's talk market trends. These pennies aren't just a one-time lucky find anymore. With the rarity of this 1986 no mint mark, prices have skyrocketed over the years. Collectors are always on the hunt for these, and their value continues to climb. Cut back to the presenter in a relaxed, friendly setting, with text overlay encouraging subscribers. Now that you know about the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny, keep an eye out for other hidden gems in your coin jars. And if you found this video helpful or even entertaining, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on more valuable coin tips and strategies. Until next time, happy collecting! Subscribe for more coin collecting fun, with animated link to next related video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Have you ever come across a penny and wondered if it's worth more than $1? Well, today, we're diving into one of those rare gems, the 1973 D-Mint mark Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, this little coin could be worth a fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's explore why this penny is a collector's dream. So, why is the 1973 D Lincoln penny so special? Well, let me take you on a quick trip down memory lane. Back in 1973, the Denver Mint produced these pennies with a small D mint mark, and little did anyone know, some of them would become incredibly valuable. Not because they're made of gold, but because of a rare mistake. I remember the first time I stumbled upon a 1973 D penny. I was going through my grandmother's old coin collection, thinking, oh, just another penny. Little did I know, a simple glance would reveal something extraordinary. One of those tiny letters D turned a casual penny into a potential jackpot. So, what makes the 1973 D penny so valuable? It's all about the rarity. During that year, a small number of these pennies escaped circulation, which is why they're so sought after by collectors. Today, a well-preserved 1973 D penny can fetch around $1.7 million, yes, million with an M. And here's the kicker, you don't have to sell your car to buy one. A $1.7 million coin sounds crazy, but some collectors are willing to pay that much for the privilege of owning a piece of history. Plus, finding one isn't as simple as digging through your wallet or couch cushions. If you're thinking, hey, I've got a jar full of old pennies, you might want to give them a closer look. Look for signs of wear, small imperfections, and, of course, that elusive mint mark D. Those tiny details can mean the difference between pocket change and potential riches. But it's not just about luck. If you want to start building a coin collection that could be worth a fortune, you'll need to educate yourself. Watch videos like this, read up on coin grading, and connect with other collectors to stay ahead of the game. Now, I know what you're thinking, how do I find one of these 1973 D pennies? Well, my friends, that's the fun part. Keep searching, stay curious, and who knows, you might just discover a treasure hiding in plain sight. Alright, coin collectors and curious minds, that's it for today's deep dive into the 1973 D penny. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth big money, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Let's keep uncovering hidden treasures together. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, every penny counts, even the rare ones. Hey there, coin lovers! Ever wonder if that 2019 Lincoln penny you found could be worth millions? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the world of rare pennies, and let's just say this one might surprise you. Hey, everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we talk about the coins that could be worth big bucks. If you've stumbled upon a 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny, you're in the right place. We'll break down its value, why it's so special, and how you could have one hiding in your change. First things first, let's talk a bit about why 2019 pennies stand out. Unlike other years, most 2019 pennies don't have a mint mark because there wasn't a specific mint that struck coins for collectors or the public. That's why it's called the 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny, kind of rare, right? Here's a fun fact, in 2019, the US Mint only struck pennies for circulation. That means finding one without a mint mark in your pocket change is not just lucky, it's rare. Now, let's get to the good stuff value. At its core, a typical 2019 penny is worth its face value, 1 cent. But if you have one in top condition, with minimal wear and tear, the story changes drastically. Some of these pennies have sold for over $1,800. Now, I don't know about you, but when I found out that my pocket change was worth that much, my jaw hit the floor. And trust me, I've seen some crazy pennies worth thousands, but this one? It was a shocker. So why is a 2019 penny worth so much? Well, the absence of the mint mark combined with high demand from collectors creates this rarity. Plus, some pennies simply weren't circulated much or have unique imperfections that make them more desirable. Here's the thing, you might think, hey, I've got a lot of pennies from 2019. But unless you've got one with no mint mark, you could be looking at a penny that's, well, just a penny. Okay, so you're hunting for a 2019 penny with no mint mark. How do you spot it? Well, look for those little details, check for wear, marks, and look for imperfections that collectors drool over. Clean, well-preserved coins are the ones you want to hang on to. You know, when I first heard about this, I got obsessed with checking every penny jar and loose change I could find. My roommates thought I'd lost my mind, turns out, I almost did. If you've got a 2019 no mint mark penny in your collection, you're probably wondering where you can sell it and get the best value. eBay? Auctions? Or maybe a private collector? There are lots of platforms where you can get top dollar for rare coins, but my personal favorite is a reputable auction site. It gets you the most exposure, and you can really see how competitive the market is for these coins. So, that's the lowdown on the 2019 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something as simple as a penny could be worth thousands? If you've got one, take care of it, you never know when it could make you a millionaire. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on coins, collectibles, and other treasures you can find in your pocket change. Trust me, you won't want to miss future videos. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below if you found any cool coins lately, and let's chat about them. Until next time, keep hunting those rare treasures. Hey there, coin hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through an old jar of pennies, looking for a couple of quarters to feed a parking meter. Suddenly, you spot a plain old 1994 penny. You shrug, toss it aside, and keep digging. But wait. What if I told you that humble little penny, yes, the one with no mint mark, could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? Yep, you heard me right. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny, what makes it so valuable, and how you might just have one sitting in your pocket right now. Let's go treasure hunting. So, what's the deal with the 1994 no mint mark penny? First things first, let's talk about what a no mint mark coin even means. Usually, pennies are minted in specific locations like Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, and they get a little stamp to show where they came from. But sometimes, pennies don't get that stamp, like this beauty from 1994. Why? Well, it's usually a mistake. And when it comes to coin collecting, mistakes can mean money. Big money, but here's where it gets spicy. Not all no mint mark pennies are valuable. Most are worth, well, a penny. What makes the 1994 version special is its rarity and a little thing we call condition. Collectors go nuts for coins that are in near-perfect shape. And when I say near-perfect, I mean these things look like they just rolled out of the mint yesterday. A 1994 no mint mark penny in pristine condition is what fetches that eye-popping $1.2 million price tag. And now, let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was at my grandma's house, helping her clean out an old drawer. She had this giant jar of pennies, classic grandma move, right? I started sorting through them, mostly for fun, when I spotted a 1994 penny with no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the jackpot? I ran to my laptop, Googled like a maniac, and it wasn't the $1 million coin. Turns out it was just a regular penny. But hey, it's the thrill of the hunt that keeps us going, right? Okay, back to business. What should you look for if you think you found a 1994 no mint mark penny? Here's a quick checklist. Obviously, if it has a D or S, it's not the one. Look for sharp details, no scratches, and that shiny, almost new look. Await. Some of these valuable pennies were struck on planchets, that's coin talk for blanks, intended for other coins, which makes them extra rare. And don't worry, you don't need to be a coin expert. If you find something that looks promising, take it to a professional grader. They're like the coin whisperers who can tell you exactly what you've got. Now, let's address the big question. Why would anyone pay $1.2 million for a penny? Well, it all comes down to collectors. These folks are passionate, and when a coin is as rare as this one, it becomes a must-have. Think of it like baseball cards or rare sneakers. It's all about supply, demand, and a little bit of obsession. So, the next time you're sorting through your spare change or cleaning out a forgotten piggy bank, don't ignore those pennies. That little 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your golden ticket. And even if you don't find one, who knows? Maybe you'll uncover another hidden treasure in your loose change. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more stories, strategies, and maybe even a few laughs to help you turn your pocket change into a fortune. Alright, folks. Picture this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe you're at the laundromat, or buying your morning coffee, and you find this old, slightly dusty penny. It's from 1980, no mint mark. You shrug, toss it into a jar, and forget about it. But what if I told you that penny could be worth $1.30 million? Yep, you heard that right, $1.3 million for a single, humble penny. Mind blown? Stick around, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and I'll tell you exactly why this seemingly ordinary coin could change your life. The mystery of no mint marks. First off, let's get one thing straight: what's the deal with no mint marks? Normally, US coins have little letters on them: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. But sometimes, coins are struck without a mint mark. The 1980 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was made in Philadelphia. So why does this one stand out? here's where things get juicy. Most 1980 no mint mark pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. But there's a rare batch, mint errors or near perfect conditions, graded as MS68 or higher by professional coin grading services. These pennies, due to their rarity and condition, have collectors bidding like they're in an episode of Storage Wars. In 2024, one of these pristine 1980 no mint mark pennies sold for $1.3 million at auction. Why? Because coin collectors are a passionate bunch. They'll do anything to get their hands on rare, near perfect examples of coins from everyday circulation. So, what makes this penny worth more than my car? Let's break it down. If your penny looks like it's been chewed by your dog, it's probably not the jackpot. The $1 million penny had luster, like it was freshly minted yesterday. Fewer coins in mint condition means more value. Coins like this tell a story. They're tiny pieces of history, and collectors love that. Close call now, let me share a quick, cringeworthy story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, and I found this old penny under the seat. It looked kinda shiny, so I set it aside. A few weeks later, I heard about rare pennies being worth millions, and I thought, wait, could it be? Spoiler alert, I accidentally spent it at a gas station. Yep. Somewhere out there, my potential $1 million penny is probably buying someone a pack of gum. Lesson learned: always double check your coins. Now, if you're like me, you're already eyeing that coin jar on your kitchen counter. Here's how to check if you have a winner. Look for a 1980 penny with no mint mark, check its condition. Does it look shiny and uncirculated? Consider professional grading. Companies like PCGS or NGC can give you an official grade. Don't clean the penny yourself. That can lower its value. So, what do you do if you strike gold or copper? First, don't freak out. Second, get it appraised by a professional. You might just be sitting on a fortune. Alright, folks, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.3 million. Who knew something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such massive value? The moral of the story? Never underestimate your pocket change, it might just surprise you. Now, before you run off to raid your couch cushions, I've got a little challenge for you. Subscribe to this channel for more tips and stories about coins worth money. We'll help you turn your spare change into life-changing finds. Hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and let's keep uncovering treasures together. And hey, if you find a rare coin, let me know in the comments. I promise not to be too jealous. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this, you're sifting through a handful of pennies, maybe you just emptied your piggy bank or found some change in the couch cushions, and suddenly, you spot a coin that could be worth $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that's worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a mansion, or, let's be honest, more coffee than anyone could drink in a lifetime. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1992 D mint mark Lincoln penny. What makes this little copper beauty so special? Why is it worth enough to make your wallet sing? And how can you spot one? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be one step closer to turning your pocket change into a fortune. The 1992 D penny. At first glance, it looks like any other Lincoln penny. Same copper-plated zinc design, good old Honest Abe on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But, and here's the twist, this penny has a little secret. It's called the Close AM variety. And now, I know what you're thinking, Close AM? Is that a breakfast special at my favorite diner? Not quite. The Close AM refers to the spacing between the A and the M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin. In this rare variety, the letters are so close they're practically hugging. And that tiny design detail is what makes collectors go absolutely wild. So, why does it matter? Well, this variety was actually a mistake. The Close AM design was supposed to be used only on proof coins, which are those shiny, specially made coins for collectors. But somehow, a few of these designs ended up on regular circulation pennies minted in Denver. Whoops, only a handful of these error coins exist. And when something is both rare and sought after, you've got a recipe for a massive payday. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know how it goes, dusty boxes, random tools, and a coffee can full of pennies. My uncle, bless his heart, said, "Why don't you take these? Maybe you'll find something interesting." I didn't think much of it, but one night, I started sorting through the coins while binge watching my favorite show. Lo and behold, I spotted a 1992 penny with a D mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I grabbed a magnifying glass and checked the America on the back. Was it a close AM? Nope. But for a few glorious seconds, I thought I had struck gold or copper. In this case, that's the beauty of coin collecting. Every penny holds the promise of a treasure hunt. And let me tell you, the thrill of discovery is worth every second. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? Look for 1992 and the D mint mark under the date. Examine the reverse. Focus on the word America. If the A and M are touching or nearly touching, you might have a close AM variety. These details can be tiny, so don't strain your eyes. Verify with an expert. If you think you've got the real deal, take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service. Now, let's talk money. In pristine condition, a 1992 D close AM penny can fetch up to $1.4 million at auction. Even if it's not in perfect shape, it could still be worth thousands. So, next time you're tempted to toss a penny into the tip jar, give it a second look first. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1992 D mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a big value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good underdog story, this penny proves that even the smallest things can hold incredible worth. Now, before you dive into your coin jar or call your uncle about those old coffee cans in the garage, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover coins worth money. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single upload, and hey, if you've ever found a rare coin or have a story to share, drop it in the comments below. Who knows? Your story might inspire the next video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and casual spare change flippers. Imagine this: you're at a gas station, buying a soda, and the cashier hands you back some change. You glance down, and there it is, a penny. Just an ordinary copper coin, or is it? What if I told you that little penny could be worth $1.5 million? Yep, today, we're diving into the 2015 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, you might want to start checking your pockets, piggy banks, and couch cushions after this video. Stick around because I'll share a funny personal story about how I once almost tossed a valuable penny, and we'll wrap it up with tips on spotting these hidden treasures. Okay, first, let's clear up the whole no mint mark thing. If you look at most pennies, you'll see a little letter under the date: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or even P for Philadelphia. But some pennies are missing that mark. No, it's not a factory oops, it's just how Philadelphia coins roll. And now, the 2015 penny in question? It's not just any penny. This particular one is part of a rare batch that somehow slipped through quality control. Experts say these coins were struck with an unusual die, giving them subtle variations like doubled letters, unusual texture, or even microscopic errors that make coin collectors salivate. One of these sold at auction for $1.5 million. That's not just life-changing money, that's buy a yacht and name it Penny Lane money. Here's the thing, finding one of these is like winning the lottery, but without the awkward photo holding a giant check. To see if you've got a 2015 no mint mark penny worth millions, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe, check the lettering, especially Liberty or the date. If the letters look slightly doubled, you might have struck gold, well, copper, unique luster or finish. Sometimes these rare pennies have an unusual shine that sets them apart. If it looks like it just rolled off the production line, jackpot. Fun fact, I once spent half an hour scrutinizing a penny under a lamp while my wife stared at me like I'd lost my mind. Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth anything. But hey, it's all part of the thrill. Here's where it gets interesting. Coins are like fine wine, they get better and more valuable with age or unique flaws. This 2015 penny became a hot commodity because of its rarity and the fascination collectors have with errors. It's like having a limited edition sneaker drop, but for numismatists, the market for rare coins has been booming. Think of it this way, people will pay insane amounts for something they can't easily find. That's why a single penny, yes, a penny, could fetch millions at auction. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car. I found a penny stuck to the floor mat, the sticky kind that's fused with old gum and despair. I almost tossed it but decided to keep it. Turns out, it was a 1972 double die penny worth a couple $100. Never underestimate your loose change. And also, maybe vacuum your car more often. So, you think you've hit the jackpot. What now? Don't just waltz into your local bank and hand it over for $1. Take it to a coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin, which is crucial for getting top dollar at auction. Join coin forums or Facebook groups. You'd be surprised how helpful fellow collectors can be when you're trying to figure out if your penny is the real deal. Alright, folks, there you have it, the 2015 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. The next time you get change, take a closer look. That humble penny might just change your life now. Before you go rummaging through your coin jar, let me ask you this: do you want more tips like this? Are you curious about other rare coins hiding in plain sight? Then hit that subscribe button and join our community of treasure hunters. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or just want to brag about your shiny penny collection. Alright, everyone, picture this: you're digging around in the couch cushions, looking for the TV remote or maybe a couple of quarters for the vending machine. You find a penny. It's got some dirt on it. It's nothing special, right? Wrong. What if I told you that penny could be worth $1.6 million? Yeah, you heard me right, a penny, just like the ones rattling around in your car's cup holder or hanging out at the bottom of your purse. Today, we're diving into one of the most valuable coins you might already own, the 1988 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this little copper beauty worth more than most houses. Oh, and stick around, because I'll also share a story about how I almost literally gave away a coin that turned out to be worth hundreds of dollars. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, let's get into it. First, what makes the 1988 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny so special? At first glance, it looks like any other penny. You've got Abraham Lincoln doing his thing on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and that tiny D under the date. That D stands for the Denver Mint, by the way, but here's the kicker: it's not just any 1988 penny. The ones that are worth the big bucks have a very specific error or variation. Coin collectors call it a transitional die error. Basically, when the US Mint was switching up designs, a few pennies got stamped with the wrong design die. It's like using the wrong mold for cookies, except instead of a tasty mistake, you get $1 million coin. And now, let's talk about how to spot one. Grab your magnifying glass, or, let's be real, your smartphone with the zoom function, and take a close look at the reverse side. Check out the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial. On the rare coins, the font of these initials is slightly different because they used the wrong die. It's subtle, but hey, subtle mistakes are worth millions in the coin world. So, you're probably wondering, what's the current market value? Well, drumroll please, $1.6 million. That's not pocket change. That's life-changing money. A penny turning into $1 million? It's like winning the weirdest lottery ever. And now, here's a fun story to drive this home. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know, the one filled with random batteries, receipts, and rubber bands that look like they've seen better days. I found this old penny, and for a second, I thought about tossing it. But then I remembered a video I saw about rare coins and decided to look it up. Spoiler alert, it wasn't a $1.6 million penny. But it was worth $250, which paid for a pretty nice dinner. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the junk in your junk drawer. Alright, folks, here's the deal: that old penny sitting in your jar, or the one you almost handed to the cashier at the gas station, could be a 1988 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.6 million. The key is paying attention to those tiny details. A magnifying glass, a little patience, and some research can turn you into a treasure hunter. And now, before you go running to check your couch cushions, here's my challenge for you. Go grab all your spare change, look for that 1988 D penny, and let me know in the comments if you find one or if you think you might have another rare coin. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips and stories to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Don't miss out, you could be sitting on a fortune. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time someone tells you it's just a penny, you can say, "Not so fast, it might just buy me a mansion."